The Effect of Brexit on Immigration, Part 8. As commentators on the right were naively celebrating the speech and being quick to make the Enoch Powell comparison, many on the left were outraged. Both sets of people were convinced that Starmer was making a less than subtle coded message or dog whistle to the socially conservative electorate. Whether he was or he wasn't, what matters is whether he is being genuine, and more importantly, whether he will deliver on his rhetoric. Of course, it is a million miles from where Starmer was on immigration even 6 months ago. But anyone can say what they think people want to hear. Until recently, Labour were performing this service for its liberal left and migrant supporters. Now they have realised they will not survive unless they switch their focus to the mainstream electorate, which is broadly conservative, although not hardline, on social issues. It does not mean that they are any more sincere, it's just the target audience has changed. Indeed, if Starmer was so bothered about immigration, he would have mentioned it at some point during 3 years in opposition. He would have done something about it immediately after taking power, rather than waiting 10 months. When questioned on this, Starmer claimed he had talked about immigration in 2022 in his conference speech, and in an address to the CBI. It was mentioned briefly in both speeches, but tamely, and without much detail. In the conference speech he said, "I will revitalise public services and control immigration using a points-based system." Not very radical, considering there was already a points-based system. In the remarks to the CBI, he elaborated, "Any movement in our points-based migration system, whether via the skilled worker route or the shortage occupations list, will come alongside new conditions for business." Note here it is implied Labour might even relax the rules with conditions, namely firms making commitments to train and hire domestically. Starmer went on to do the usual spiel about migration being part of our national story and having a great contribution, before saying, "The days when low pay and cheap labour are part of the British way on growth must end." These were hardly the words of someone serious about the issue or the need to act on it. Labour voices did say when the Boris wave was announced that 906,000 net was too high and that it should be more like 200,000. Starmer also mused that the health service relies too much on migrant labour, prompting howls of derision to his left. But that was it. For all intents and purposes, immigration was a non-concern for Labour, just as the Channel crossings were for a long time. Hypocrisy and cynicism aside, the policies Labour have proposed in the White Paper are actually quite good. If enacted, they are very likely to bring the immigration numbers down further still. Labour are of course trying to pretend the 2024 drop is down to them, despite only being in power for half the year and doing absolutely nothing. That's par for the course with them.